Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the background campaign for Hero Realms. Last time we stepped into this campaign, we defeated Red Eyes, which was Scenario 4, and then we took a break from the background campaign to get some other games on the channel, but such is the nature of the background campaign. Today we're into the 5th scenario of the campaign, the People of Heart's End. First up, let me find the adventure book. And with that, we can go ahead and set the scene. As your party discusses what to do about the slumbering man, a light rain begins to fall. You hear the pat, pat, pat of raindrops on the ground, and then a louder, similar sound as you recognize as someone clapping. A figure approaches from the darkness, the source of the applause. "Well done!" The stranger's shrill voice cuts through the night. "Very well done." He laughs as he draws near, a sharp, evil sound. You fight the urge to cover your ears. In the dim light, you see that the stranger resembles an elf, but his skin is a sickly gray and stretched so tight across his bare chest it's a wonder he doesn't tear as he moves. "Welcome to Heart's End, my new friends. I hope you plan on staying for a spell." You demand the stranger's name and purpose, which earns you more of his hideous laughter. "My mother called me Malvin, but I have acquired many names from my many friends. Beastmaker they named me, thinking it was an insult. Abomination too. Heartless One and Soulless One I found mundane. But the Corruptor made me smile. I wonder, what will you call me? What names will you utter while your mouths can still shape words?" Malvin leans on his staff. He is perhaps a dozen strides away. "As for my purpose, I want you, of course. I want this village, and the next, and the next." Some of your party heft their weapons, but the elf raises a warning hand. A hand that doesn't match the rest of his body. It's claw-like, with red-brown flesh that reaches up his arm and seems unnaturally joined to his torso. He raises a long finger to his lips. "Shh. Listen now, friends. You put down one of my pets, but I have so many more." You hear them before you can see them. The grunt of a bear, the cry of a raven, the howl of a wolf. Then the red eyes appear. The fog breaks for a moment and you see an owl flapping its wings madly, a ram slavering, toads, goats, rats, rabbits. You're surrounded by Malvin's horde and you must defend yourself. In this encounter, you'll face 5 different masters. To make matters worse, each player will start with one in their area, which we already have. So we've done all the setup there. Multiple masters. Everything shares a discard pile. Okay. Alright, so that's everything set there. Actually, we'll go through the special rules about the multiple masters. All of the masters in this encounter share a single master deck, master discard pile, and master area. Any discard effects that target a master affect the single master deck. During the active player's turn, they flip for the master in their area. If there isn't one, they flip for the next master in play going clockwise around the table. This may happen after some masters have been defeated, except we only have the one character, so we only have the one master to worry about. When a mastery resolves, put it into the master area. Once 3 masteries have resolved, all masters in this encounter level up simultaneously, including the ones at the edge of the forest, aka off shot. Then put the mastery cards into the master discard pile. When any future masteries resolve, leave them in the master area for the rest of the encounter. When the masters level up, they each gain health as printed under their name on their level 2 side. Note, at level 2, each master also has a lure ability, which isn't relevant here because we only have the one character. When a master is defeated, remove it from play. It's not at the edge of the forest. At the start of each player's turn, if there isn't a master in that player's area, randomly select one that's at the edge of the forest and put it into that player's area. Whenever a master enters play from the edge of the forest, set its starting health as printed under its name on its level 1 side. If it's at level 2, it also gains health as printed under its name on the level 2 side. If a player is defeated while a master is in their area, that won't be relevant, because at that point the game will just be over. Just like in Counter 4, Follow the rules from page 6 in the Lost Village and rulebook. For example, if yada yada yada, if you defeat all masters, okay. So now we're all set there. Now we can start working our way over to the board, and we can go through starting market and hand. We've actually got our mat out for the right game this time. So as always available from encounter 4, we have the tasty meal, which we can acquire for 2 gold. We get 2 gold when we play it, or we can trash it for 4 health. And then we have the fire gems that are also always available. Also 2 gold to acquire. We get 2 gold when we play them, but we can trash them for 3 combat. And then our starting market consists of taxation for 1 gold. We get 2 when we play it. Ally ability with the Imperial faction gives us 6 health. Then a street thug for 3 combat, or 3 trade. We can expend it for 1 gold or 2 combat with a non-guard strength of 4. Next up, domination for 7 trade. 6 and 6 combat, 6 health, and draw a card. Ally ability with the Imperial faction, prepare a champion. Next, life drain for 6 trade. We get 8 combat and sacrifice a card in your hand or discard pile. Necros ally ability, draw a card. And Master Weigh-In for 4 trade. Expended for 3 trade plus 1 trade for each other, or 1 for 3 combat plus 1 for each other champion you have in play. Guard strength of 4. Then in the starting hand, we see we're going to have a decent amount of everything. But anyway, getting a little ahead of myself there. We'll tip the camera down and go through starting skills. From the campaign skills, we've got a deep channel for expend it and get 2 gold from it. We lose a health, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, draw 1 and put the other back. Then we have a Fire Blast. We can sacrifice this to deal 4 damage to target master or minion. And Spellcaster's Gloves. As long as we have above 25 health, we can use this. We can expend it if you have 2 or more actions in play, gain 2 health or 2 combat. We will not have that this first turn, but nothing we can do there. Anyway, we'll bring our first master into shot that's starting in the area. Tip the camera up just a touch. Zoom in on the battering ram. So 17 health, which I've got D percentile dice set up for. When a player champion enters this area, it becomes expended. So we will need to keep an eye on that because I did see a champion in our hand. When they flip over a blue ally card, put the highest non-guard player champion from this area on top of its controller's deck. Strength of 4, also gets 4 combat. Green, the player in this area puts a random card from their hand on top of their deck. Flipping over a red, and that's their favorite ability. Deal 5 damage to the player in this area. And then when they flip over a yellow, gain 6 health. So let me get out my percentile dice. We'll go 50 like so. Get that all set up. And I do need to remember the fact that I'm infected. Hopefully that won't come up during this encounter, but anyway, starting health of 17, like I said, is already set. With that, I think everything is set for the scene, so let's get into this playthrough. Unfortunately, the cat familiar will come in expended right away, but then we have 4 trade and 2 combat, which will hit the boss with a 2 combat. Then the 4 trade. I think the 4 trade will actually give me a Master Weigh-In. Yeah. And then replacing him will be an influence for 2 trade. You gain 3 trade when you play it and trash it for 3 combat. So that will do it there. The Cat Familiar will prepare. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that should be interesting. And then the first card for the boss is a Relentless Storm with a preferred ability. So I take 5 damage because of that, and we stun all player champions. So the Cat Familiar goes away, and I will take a total of, I'll just take the 5. So I'll go down to 45. Somewhat uneventful first round. Can't really complain too much there. Anyway, we'll get into round 2, and we'll come back to the Wizard's turn. We'll start off with 3 gold, and the next action I acquire this turn costs me 1 less to acquire. Then we'll have 3... Well, we got a little bit of flavor text here first. On spell components, what do you need that for? And on Ignite, every Inferno starts with a spark. We'll hit the boss with the 3 combat, down to 12. And then 3 gold, and our first action costs 1 less to acquire. I think we'll go ahead and grab Taxation for free then, and then replacing that will be Varric the Necromancer. Expend to take a champion from your discard pile and put it on top of your deck. Necros ally ability, draw a card, non-guard strength of 3. And then I think we'll grab the Street Thug for the last 3 trade. So replacing that will be Darien Warmage for 4 trade. Expend for 3 health or 3 combat or 4 health. Anyway, all of this will move to the discard pile. 1, 2. And we'll shuffle all of this up. Right, 1, 2, 3. And we'll see that we're going to have a mildly slow turn, but we can probably deal with that. Anyway, the boss's next card is a Chomping Goat for 4 with a preferred ability of dealing 5 more damage. That's 40 for me. And then I have to discard a random item, and I think... Oh wow, almost all of my hand is items. So these are all the items in my hand. So he's expended. And we'll lose a random gold. So nothing we can do there. I should be at 40, not 50. Anyway, the Chomping Goat will expend... or we'll prepare. Then we'll get into round 3, and that goat's gonna cause problems. I should probably try to take it out if I can, but let's find out. We'll start with an Arcane Wand that lets me draw a card, and for the rest of the turn when I play an action, I gain 1 combat. So I will draw. A Street Thug, which is unfortunately going to come in expended. Give me your gold, or I'll give you my knife. So that's not going to be useful for us this turn. The Ignite will be giving us 2, bringing us up to a total of 3 combat. Then I've got 3 more trade, and I'll scrap the Silver Skull Amulet so I can draw another card. So I will draw another gold. That's unfortunate. So anyway, that's trashed. I'll hit the boss for 3 because I can't. Well, actually, I think I'm gonna have to sacrifice the fire blast to take out the chomping goat. So he's gone. And then I'll hit the boss for 3 more to bring the battering ram down to 9. And then for 3 trade, actually that's 4 gold. I'll grab Darian and replacing him will be Rasmus the Smuggler for 4 trade. Expend it for 2 gold. On an ally ability with the guild, I put the next card I acquire this turn on top of my deck. So anyway, he will prepare. All of this will move to my discard pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't have enough actions to use the spellcaster's gloves. Here I will, though, to use it. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself there. So next card up for the battering ram, or for the master. The infection grows. Deal 8 damage to the infected player unless they or a player nearby to them reveals a wild card in hand. Owie! And I don't have a wild card to reveal, so I guess I'm taking 8 damage plus 5 from the preferred ability on the... So I'm taking a total of 13 damage. From 40, that'll bring me down to 27. Yikes! Hopefully that infection won't be a problem again, but... Anyway, that is it for the round. Owie! That kind of hurt, actually. That'll bring us into round 4, though, and I'm going to see if I can take this ram out this turn. Unfortunately, the cat familiar will come in expended. And then we've got 2 trade, or 2 combat. We got 4 trade, and the next action I acquire costs me 1 less. Since I do have 2 actions in play with Ignite and the Taxation, I'll expend the Spellcaster's Gloves to give me 2 more health. Although getting rocked for 13 was not very helpful. So anyway, for 4 trade, and my first action cost me 1 less. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll expend the Street Thug to give me a 5th combat, or 5th trade, I should say. I'll hit the Battering Ram for 2, bringing him down to 7. And then for 5, because it costs 1 less, I'll grab the Life Drain right off the bat. And then replacing that will be Close Ranks. 3 trade. I get 5 combat plus 2 per champion I have in play when I play it. And an ally ability with the Imperial faction gives me 6 health. So anyway, all of those will exhaust. 1, 2, 3. Four, 5. I'll go ahead and prepare everything. We'll look here and we'll see that... Oh my, I'm going to have a fair amount of damage coming down this turn, but I need to make sure I can get to it first. Anyway, the boss will flip over a Mastery in the preferred color, which is another 5 damage to me. So that'll bring me down to 24 and turn my Spellcaster's Gloves off, which is unfortunate, but no help for that at this point. Anyway, we'll get into round 5 now, and this, looking at the hand, I will probably come close, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to take him out this round. We'll find out, though. Unfortunately, looking at the hand, I'm actually going to come up 1 combat short of being able to take him out. But I will be able to build up a wall. As I play out Taxation, that'll bring me up to that'll give me 2 trade and let me heal for... Well, I'm spoiling a little bit, but I will play out my 2 champions, who will let me turn on the ally ability for Taxation and let me heal for 6 back up to 30, which will turn on the Spellcaster's Gloves again. Then I'll play out the Fire Staff for 1 combat and the gold for another 1 to bring me up to 3. So that'll give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3. Let's go for... Let's take that for another... Do I want another trade with it? Because right now I'm at 1, 2, 3... Actually, 3 would give me close ranks, and I think that's what I want, especially if I'm starting to get some champions on the board. So replacing that will be an Elven Gift. I need to get this as fast as I can. 2 combat, I may draw a card. If I do, discard a card. Ally ability with the Wild to give me 4 combat. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to bring the Battering Ram down to 2. And the heal was very welcome from that. So all my champions will prepare. Then everything will move to the discard pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we look like we'll be in business. We should be in business here, but anyway, getting ahead of myself there. So looking for the Master. We find their second Mastery with a yellow card, so they actually go up to... So the Battering Ram actually heals for 6 to bring them up to 8. So yeah, I think right now we should be able to take out the Battering Ram on this next round. But anyway, let's get into round... What round are we on? We're on round 6 now, and it'll be my turn next. I'll play out the Life Drain to give me 8 combat, and I can sacrifice a card in my hand or discard pile. I'll take out a gold from the discard pile. Then I'll hit the boss for the 8 combat to bring him to take out the Battering Ram. So the Battering Ram is done. We don't have to worry about him for the rest of the game. And the next Master comes in. Move from play at the start of each player's turn. So they flip for the next Master and play going clockwise. So I think we're going to roll now for the Master that's coming in. So I'll do the roll on camera, but the bosses will be off camera. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 going from left to right off camera. 4, so it'll be this boss coming in, and we'll meet him at the start of my next turn. So anyway, now that we've got a free hand, now I should be able to do a little bit of healing. So I'll expend the Cat Familiar and the Warmate and Darien both for health to bring me up to 35. Then how many actions am I going to end up having? I will end up having 2 actions. The 2 combat there is going to go to waste, though. So I'll expend the Spellcaster's Gloves to give me another 2 health and bring me up to 37. Then I've got 1, 2, 3. I'll expend that for 4. And Spell Component says my next action I acquire costs 1 less. So for 1, I will go ahead and grab the Elven Gift and nothing flat. So replacing that in the market will be Man-at-Arms for 3 trade. When I expend him, I get 2 combat plus 1 for each other guard I have in play. So I have 3 trade left. I think I will grab the Man-at-Arms then. And then replacing him again will be bribed for 3 trade. I get 3 when I play it, and on an ally ability with blue, I put the next action I acquire this turn on top of my deck. So anyway, all of this will move to the discard pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll shuffle all of this. Five. All right, then all my champions prepare. And then we're flipping for the next boss coming in. So we might as well go ahead and meet the next boss that's going to be coming in. I'll just bring him over now. The Covetous Raven, with a starting health of 15. Player in this area can't acquire cards from the market with cost 2 or less. On a blue ally ability, stun the highest cost player champion in this area and get 4 combat. The player in this area on a green discards a card with 3 or more, with the cost 3 or more, and gain 3 combat. This card gains 10 combat minus the total cost of cards in the hand of the player in this area, and this gains 10, and on a yellow, and that's the preferred, this gains 10 health minus the total cost of cards in the hand of the player in this area. So 15 health there. Next card from the master deck. There's a Swarming Rabbit with a green ally ability. Put a random Swarming Rabbit from the master discard pile into your area expended. Except there isn't one there. Then I've got to discard a card with player cost 3 or more. Let's see if I have one. I do not. That actually doesn't do anything then. So then he gets another 3 combat plus 2 is 5. So Master Win does bite it and I take 1. Fortunately, my champions are going to build up an effective wall for me. But anyway, he will prepare. Then we'll get into round 7. And I need to be mindful that as of now, I can't acquire anything that costs 2 or less. So anyway, back to my turn. My goal for this round is going to be to take out that rabbit and do a bit of damage to the boss if I can. So I'll start off with the Arcane Wand, which will let me draw a card. And for the rest of the turn, whenever I play an action, I gain 1 combat, so I will draw. Spell components, another trade, and the next action I acquire costs me 1 less. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Ignite giving me 2 combat for a total of 3 from this. I don't have enough actions in place, so I can't expend the Spellcaster Gloves, but I can expend all of my champions. So right now I have 2, 3, which I'll use 2 of it to take out the Swarming Rabbit. So I have 1 left. Let's see, I can probably get up to that Divination. That's going to be insanely good. If I can get to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then because of spell components, I will acquire... Actually, it's Dominations, but I will still acquire because it is insanely good. And then coming out of that will be a Wolf Shaman for 2, which I can't acquire because of the boss's ability. 2 combat, plus 1... Yeah, plus 1 for each other wild card I have in play. Then I'll expend the War Mage for another 3 combat, so that'll give me a total of 4 that I can hit the boss with, bringing the Raven down to 11. Then all of my champions prepare. I probably would have had the Raven down right now if I would have been able to keep Master Wayan. 2, 3, 4, 5. I may still get him anyway, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself there. Anyway, the next card up for the boss. Unnatural Fog, it's a hazard. I can't play more than 4 cards each turn. Whenever you or a nearby player has 2 cards of the same faction in play, clear this hazard. So I do need to keep an eye on that, but Looking at the master's ability, gains 10 combat minus the total cost of cards in this player's hand. I have 6, 7, 10, 13. So the boss doesn't gain any combat, which means my champions are all going to stick to the table. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself there. So we are looking at round, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be round 8. First thing I need to do is clear that hazard, but looking at my hand, that should actually be very simple to do. With an Imperial faction card in play, a taxation will give me 2 trade and heal me for 6, but more importantly, that'll bring me up to 42. More importantly, it'll clear the unnatural fog, so now I can play everything out. I'll play the life drain for 8, which lets me sacrifice a card in my hand or discard pile. I'll take another gold out. I'll play out Man-at-Arms. This is gonna be a lot. This is gonna be a lot of damage. Close ranks, which will actually give me another 6, bringing me up to 48. And an ignite for 2. I want to double check something here. Because when I take out a master with multiple masters, am I able to attack another one? I guess the question is, are all the masters considered nearby when a master is in your area? So I can probably... Master area still takes... So it looks like I can attack a nearby master. If I'm understanding this correctly. Because I've never had a... The reason I'm checking this so thoroughly is because I've never had a scenario where I've had multiple masters, but I'm going to have a lot of combat this round. So you can still attack. So while a master is in your area, you can't attack, target, or heal outside of your area. What to do when master isn't in... I can attack. Okay, so I can attack masters in nearby areas, and I think the master is considered. I do think the masters are considered nearby when when there's only one player. Sorry, I'm just having to double check that. Sorry, I'm being a little bit of a dirk, but I'm having to double check this. So, card anatomy, that's not what I want. Has prepared minions in their area. Also can't target. They're free to fight in other areas. Players seated. The master is nearby to all players, so I'm pretty sure that doesn't change. That was a rule from the Rune of Thandar. I'm pretty sure that doesn't change to the Lost Village. So the way I'm going to play it for now is I can target any master over there. And I'm going to have a lot of combat this turn. So I've already sacrificed a card to life drain. Close ranks will give me 5 health plus 2 for each champion I have in, or 5 combat plus 2 more for each champion I have in play. 2, 3, 4. So that'll be another 8 combat for me for 13. So 13, 21, 23, 25, 28, 29, 30, 31, which would be enough to take out the Covetous Raven with 11. Right? Was that how much combat I had? I'm going to put another set of percentile dice up just so I have my combat straight. So 8, that was another 13, 21, 23, 25, 28, 29, 30, 31. So 31, 11 of which goes to take out the covetous Raven. So that brings me down to 20 combat. And then I can attack in a nearby area. I think I'll go ahead and take out the Cunning Owl next. I'm not going to bother going through the Cunning Owl because I'm just taking him out with 12 combat to bring me down to 8 combat left. And then the next boss I'm going to attack is going to be the Alpha Wolf, actually, for 8 combat to bring him down to 12. Somebody will tell me if I can do this, if I can't do this in the comments section down below, but for the time being, I'm going to rule that you can do that. So I have a total of 2 trade. Actually, I'll expend the Spellcaster's Gloves and give me 2 more combat, which I'll hit the Alpha Wolf with again to bring him down to 10. And then with 2 trade, now that I can acquire it, I will grab the Wolf Shaman. And then replacing that will be another Elven Gift, which I'm going to try to acquire, but I am not completely sure I'm going to need it this game. But anyway, I'll move all my mess of actions to the discard pile. I'll prepare everything here. And 1, 2, 3. Or 5. Actually, I wonder if there's a special rule that's going to tell me something more about that. Yeah, it doesn't say if there's anything that changes the Master's section nearby. So anyway, we'll take a look at the hand for the turn. We look like we're going to get some good stuff here, but anyway, getting a little bit ahead of myself there. So for the Master's turn, I will flip for a card. There's no card in the area right now. So actually, we'll bring the Alpha Wolf in. Take a quick look at him. Starting health of 20, except it's 10 because we've been doing some damage to him. Minions in this area have guard. Blue ability, stun all player guards in this area, get 5 combat. Preferred ability on green, flip again, but that card doesn't trigger any master abilities. Red, 4 combat, plus 4 for each minion in this area, excluding the flipped card. And yellow, minions in this area gain plus 2 non-guard strength this turn, heal 2. Starting health would be 20, but it's 10 because we've been working him down a little bit. Then the next card coming out is a third mastery in red. So they get 4 combat plus 4 for each minion in the area, but there's none. So the wolf will level up. Actually, both bosses will level up. He'll gain 20 health to go up to 30. So 30 health there. Only has 4 combat though, which will take out the man-at-arms. But anyway, the bear also gains health as well. Gains another 23, so the bear's up to 46 now. Right, so now we've got a leveled up wolf to deal with. Hopefully that won't be too hard, but I'm getting ahead of myself there. So the masteries go into the discard pile at this point. Now we're into round... let me count this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now let's see what we can do with dealing with this newly leveled Alpha Wolf. We'll start off with an Arcane Wand to to draw a card. Whenever for the rest of the turn when I play an action, I gain 1 combat. So I will draw another gold, which is not particularly welcome. Well, it might be welcome because I've got an Elven Gift, which will let me draw a card, and if I do, discard 1. So I will draw. Master Wayan's back, thank goodness. He is a sight for sore eyes. I'll discard a gold that I have. So that gives me 1 combat. Okay, so that's 1 combat from the action. Then I'll play Taxation for another 2 trade, and I'll heal 6, going up to 54. 54. That's also another combat from the Arcane Wand. Then I'll play out the Fire Staff, which will give me another combat. I'm tracking... Actually, no, I'll just leave the action count there. So I do have 2 or more actions in play, so I get to draw a card, and I will draw another gold, which I'm not particularly happy to see, so that'll be 2 more for a total of 6. And then I'll play out Master Wayan again. So for 6 trade, I'll go ahead and grab another Elven Gift for 2, and then replacing that will be Grack Storm Giant for 8 trade. I can expend him for 6 combat. I can draw a card. If I do, discard a card. Ally ability with Wild, draw, then discard a card. So I've got 4 trade left, and I don't think I can get to a plan that'll get me him. So I think right now let's just put damage on the target. So I'll expend Master Wayan for 3 plus another 3? Yeah, plus another 3. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'll cut the Alpha Wolf's health in half, take him down to 15. Actually, I'll expend that since I have 2 more actions and play for 2 more. Take him down to 13. Then for 4 more trade, I think I will grab Rasmus. And then replacing him, Deception. 2 trade and draw a card for 5. Then blue, put the next card I acquire this turn into my hand. So I'll go ahead prepare everything. Move all of this to the discard pile. And then draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to have some doozies coming out this turn if I can stick it, but getting a little bit ahead of myself there. So let's take a look at our leveled up Alpha Wolf. Minions still have guard. The lure's not relevant. Looks like all of these same abilities just pumped up. So 9 combat on a blue. Flip twice more, but those cards don't trigger master abilities. 7 combat plus 7 for each minion in the area. And then minions gain plus 5 health this turn and heal 5. Alright, so the next card from the Master's deck we find. Swarming Rabbit on a red. So 7 plus 7 for each minion. So that's 14. And then we'll expend that to put another Swarming Rabbit out. And unfortunately, this is a problem. So that's expended. But 14 combat, 4... will actually take out all of my champions except for the Cat Familiar. So Master Wayan goes first, then Darien, then the Street Thug. That is 13 and hits me for 1 to bring me down to 53. Yikes. Right. Well, that kind of changed... Well, didn't change things up too much, I don't think, but getting a little bit ahead of myself there. So round... let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've played 9 cards. I guess this is round 10. Let's see if we can deal with those rabbits and put a hurting on the boss. So let's get into it. We'll go ahead and start off by playing out the Wolf Shaman, which will give me 2 combat plus 1 for each other wild card I have in play, which right now is none. Then I'll play out a Life Drain, which gives me 8 combat, and I can sacrifice a card in my hand or discard pile. I should have a spare plain gold. Yep, plain gold that can go bye-bye. That'll be 8 combat. And 10 from an Ignite. 5 plus 2 per champion I have in place. That'll be another 9. So 17. So 17, 19, 21, 22. I should be able to run through everything right now and start on the bear. And then I've got 1 gold, and the next action I acquire this turn costs me 1 less, which will just be an influence. Then replacing that will be another taxation for 1, which I can't grab because I don't have any trade left. Let me just total this up again. So 8, 10, 19, 21, 22. Take out both the rabbits for 4, bringing me down to 18. Take out the wolf for 13, bringing me down to 5. And I'll put a hit on the enraged bear for 5 to bring the bear down to 41. And I'll go ahead and prepare everything. Okay, well, hold up. I did have an action. I did have two actions in play, and I'm still at 53. So let's spend the spellcaster's gloves for another 2 and bring the bear down to 39. That'll give me a little bit of a head start while I'm getting ready to take on this bear. But anyway, we'll prepare everything. 1, 2. We'll shuffle that up. Three, 4, 5. All right, we'll take a look at the hand. And the race sure seems like it's going to be on at this point. So anyway, we'll bring the bear into the area. We'll take a quick look before we flip over a card from the master's deck. So a player in this area can't gain health. Player in this area stuns 2 of their champions on a blue. On a green, player in this area discards 2 cards. 7 combat for the blue, 6 for the green. 12 on a red, and 8 plus 8 if there are no player champions in this area. So we're definitely going to need to race this bear, and fast. But anyway, flipping the card over, we find a chomping goat in blue. So I stun both of my champions, and then discard a random item, which I have 2 of. We'll take that one, and we'll lose the spell components. That doesn't particularly bother me all that much, but anyway. And then we get hit for 7 to go down to 46. So yeah, the race is definitely on at this point. The chomping goat will expend, and right. Okay, so we're into round 12 now, and like I said, we need to race. We'll start off with a domination. I don't get the health from it, but I will get to draw a card, so I will draw. Man-at-Arms. Okay, that's a sight for sore eyes, so we'll go ahead and play him out. We'll expend him for 2 combat, then because of the ally ability on domination, we'll prepare and expend him again to give us 2 more combat for a total of 10 combat. I'm going to grab some dice so I can track how much combat I've got, because I will need to know those numbers. So I've got 10. Close ranks to give me another 7 to bring me up to 17 combat. 19 from an Ignite. And a gold to buy with. So the gold will actually go to a taxation, and then replacing that, will be a Spark. 3 combat, it's a wild card. 1 for 1 trade. 3 combat, target opponent discards a card. Wild ability gives me 2. So I've got a total of, let me just total this up. So 2, 8, 7 is 2, yeah, 2. Okay, I expended him twice, right? Never mind. So 10, 5, 17. Where did I get to 19? Okay, hold on. I expended him twice for 4. 10. Oh, 7. 17, 19. And then because I have 25 or more health and 2 actions in play, I'll give myself another 2 combat. So that'll bring me up to 21 total. 4 of which will go at the Chomping Goat, and I'll throw the other 17 at the boss to bring the boss down to 22. Right there. Then we'll move everything to the discard pile. Prepare Man-at-Arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully he can act as a shield for me for a turn, but we'll see about that. So the next card for the Master is a Mastery in green. So the player in this area discards 2 cards, and the boss gets 6 combat. So we'll go 1, 2. Then 6 combat will hit the Man-at-Arms for 4, and then I'll take 2 to go down to 44. So looking at my hand right now, I just drew a lot of firepower here. I'm probably not going to use the Elven Gift this turn, but we are into the turn anyway, so we'll move back over to my turn. This game is probably going to be over in about 2 turns, hopefully the right way. So I'll go ahead and play out Darien right away. Then I'll play the Elven Gift. I'm going to have to forego the draw card because I don't want to take a chance of getting something else I'm going to want to keep. Then I'll play out the Life Drain for another 8, and I can sacrifice a card in my hand or discard pile. Be another gold that can go. Then since I have 2 actions and 44 health, I'll expend the Spellcaster's Gloves for another 2 combat. Then I'll expend Darien for another 3. So 2, 5, 13. I'll hit the bear with that, bringing the bear down to 9. There we go. We'll prepare everything. Move it to the discard pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And looking at this turn, I think, well, I say this needs to be a doozy, but I really kind of have a dud of a hand here so far, but getting a little bit ahead of myself on that. Anyway, it's the Master's turn once again, so on top of their deck they find a Swarming Rabid on a blue. So that loses me Darien. I'll expend that to get a random Swarming Rabbit. 1, 2, do we have just 2? Yes. We'll take that one. Alright, so 2 and 7 is 9, which I'll get hit with down to 33. Right, so the Master's minions prepare. And, well, that kind of changes the dynamic a little bit, but not catastrophically, I don't think. But anyway, let's go back into my turn and find out. Alright, we'll start off with an Arcane Wand, so I can draw a card, and for the rest of the turn, when I play an action, I gain 1 combat, so I will draw. Master Weigh-In, which could be kind of useful, actually. So, I will then play out the Elven Gift, which will give me 1 action. Do I want to forego the draw on that? I think I do, actually. I'm deciding what I want to do, though. Because I need... Well, the problem is I need all the combat I can find. Because if I think I'm... Well, if I think I'm killing the... If I think I can kill the boss this turn... And I think I can, actually. So that's 1. Influence will give me 3 more trade. That'll be 2 actions. Then the Fire Staff will give me another combat, but it will also let me draw a card. So I will draw. A Street Thug, which actually might let me kill him right here. But we'll find out. So 2 more trade from Rasmus. The ally ability is not active. Actually, now it is active. So, Street Thug. And we'll play out Master Wayne, which will give me 3 combat plus 1 for each other champion I have in play. So, so I'll expend him for 2 gold. I have a total of 7. So that'll be 7 gold. I've got 1 plus 2 from actions for 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I'm just defeating the boss here. So I'll expend Master Wayan for 3 combat plus 2 for each other champion I have in play. Then the Street Thug for 2 more combat. So that'll give me a total of 2, 3. I'll trash the Influence for another 3 to bring me up to 6. 6, there we are. So, okay, so 1, 2, 3, and then trash the Influence for 3 to bring me up to 6. Master Wayne gives me another 5 for a total of 11. And I use the Street Thug for another 2 to bring me up to 13. I think that's Xaxes to just take the Swarming Rabbits out and take out the Enraged Bear. So with that, we have defeated all 5 of the bosses. So now we can move into wrapping this scenario up. Alright, we are into Chapter 9. The heroes still stand. Melvin's pets lie defeated all around you, some already reverting back to their original human forms. You look for Melvin, but the loathsome elf has vanished. You gently wake some of the villagers, but they seem dazed and have no recollection of what has transpired. Each player discovers a magic item. Find the Encounter 5 treasure rewards. They have a 5 in their top right corners. Locate the 2 item cards corresponding to each player's class and give them 1 at random. Put the remaining treasure cards back in the box. So Encounter 5 is... Huh? Everything... Oh, for Encounter 5. Okay, wait a minute. Something... Oh, I bet I know what I did. I think I put them in with... Can I put them in here? Setting... No. Treasures? No. Yes. Wizard. Here we go. Okay, so... Alright, so these are the 2 that correspond to the wizard. Didn't mean to jar the camera there. We'll take this one. So the reward we get is a magic mirror. Draw a card and reveal it. If it's an action card, draw another card. Ooh, that could be useful. Each player earns a character point and may upgrade one of their skills or abilities or buy an additional health card. Okay, so let's see, I think it's over here. I think for the wizard, let me see. Next item would be Calm Channel to draw a card. Yeah, I think we actually will go ahead and take Calm Channel. Wait. Yeah. So expend it and spend 2 gold to draw a card. So if I manage to set at the top of the deck, I can use that to get at whatever I need. But anyway, Wizard Skill and Ability, that goes here. Okay. So that will do it for this playthrough of the People of Heart's End. As you can see, we won it in one shot. And we've got another full slate of videos this week. Friday we'll have the first upgrades video for the winter campaign. Then Saturday I'm expecting to shoot at least one video, probably a product unboxing, but there might be one more. Then Sunday will feature the second scenario in the winter campaign for Arkham Horror the card game to the Forbidden Peaks. As for next week's weeknight video, we're going to step back into the Twilight Imperium universe as we play Twilight Inscription. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.